Hello, friends. Welcome to Josiah Venture Stories. You will hear incredible stories of life change from the mission field and be inspired by the movement of God in Central and Eastern Europe. I'm your host, Gwen Gardner, and I am so excited to share today's conversation with you. Today on the show is Nadiya Vorobyova. Nadiya first connected with Josiah Venture in 2008 through an English camp at Christ Fellowship Church in Lviv, Ukraine. After many years of involvement, her heart opened to the youth in her city. Seeking new ideas for ministry, she attended a fusion camp in the Czech Republic and, inspired by its impact, launched Fusion at her church in 2014. In 2017, she helped JV Ukraine establish the Exit Tour ministry, and after its success, joined Josiah Venture full-time to support youth outreach in churches and schools. Nadiya and her husband Artem live in Lviv with their 3 children, serving at Christ Fellowship Church. They are active in youth ministry, often hosting young people in their home. Since the start of the war, Nadiya has organized medical aid for war zones, while Artem has transported humanitarian supplies to areas under fire. Now leading Fusion in Ukraine, Nadiya equips church leaders through Fusion ministries and trains new leaders to reach young people through music-based evangelism. She is passionate about helping churches connect with teens and share the gospel in their communities. Nadiya, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
It's so good to have you.
Yes, it's good to see you.
You too. Well, so you are currently in Lviv, Ukraine.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And is that your hometown, your home city?
No, actually, I'm from eastern part of Ukraine, which is occupied right now.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I didn't realize you were from the eastern part. Near
Yes.
which part of
I'm
Ukraine?
actually from Donetsk.
Really? Okay. Wow.
But I moved to Ukraine, to this part, not because of the war. We moved before, but it's still my home city.
Yes, your home city. Well, we're all continuing to pray for Ukraine and all that is happening there. But even in the midst of war, God is working and moving, right?
Yes, yes.
Yes. Well, here at the beginning, Nadiya, just tell me a little bit about your family or what you guys like to do for fun, things like that.
Oh, fun. There is a lot of fun in our family. So we have 3 kids, 2 dogs and 2 cats.
Nice.
A lot of joy, a lot of fun stories. I think my favorite time is outside of our house in our garden. So I like to plant flowers.
Nice.
That's my hobby.
Your hobby. What's your favorite flower?
Oh, I can't choose.
Can't choose, yeah.
Yes, I have 20 plus ideas what I need to plant this spring. So no choosing one.
Oh, I know. Spring is coming, and that'll be a beautiful time. I always love that time. Right now, I live in Charleston, South Carolina, and there's pollen everywhere, and everything is turning yellow. And you have 3 children. How old are your kids?
22, 20, and Mark just turned 16 yesterday.
Oh my gosh, 22, 20, and 16. That is amazing. And they're all in Lviv with you and your husband?
Yes, they still live with us. War has some influence on that. So girls are in university, Mark is in school. But yeah, they still live with us.
Yeah, yeah. What do you love about living in Lviv?
I like the spirit of the city. So it's a lot of mix of architecture, culture, slowness, I would say. Because for example, comparing with capital city Kyiv, it's much slower. And yeah, so that's maybe my favorite stuff.
Nice. I have never been to Ukraine. I would love to visit one day, but I also hear that there's some good coffee shops. Are you a coffee drinker?
I'm not, it depends how you ask. So I like coffee, but I'm drinking it with milk. So some people think I don't know anything about coffee. But yeah, there are tons of coffee shops in Lviv. So please come. We will show you.
One day I would love to come. Well, Nadiya, let's talk about your Josiah Venture journey. Like, what was that like for you to even first hear about Josiah Venture and that first introduction to this ministry?
Actually, it was in my church. We just started visiting the church on that moment. And there were missionaries, I think first missionaries in Ukraine from Josiah Venture. It was Jay and Cameron, and they was part of our church. And on that moment, our church actually didn't have any youth ministry. So only older people and maybe like two young someone who occasionally, I don't know how, happened to be there. And those couples, they start youth ministry and they invited us when we joined the church to help. So it was the beginning for me. And it has a great influence because I saw people who came across the ocean to help our church to start youth ministry. And that was inspiring.
Yes. How old were you when you met them?
23 something.
Yeah, like in your early 20s. Yeah.
Yes.
Something. Were you married then or not yet?
Yes, I was married and I had one kid.
Oh my gosh. Wow. So you were a young family and you see these missionaries come from America to your country and that impacted you.
Yes.
Yeah. That's amazing. So then you started to help and you did an English camp, right? That was your first camp?
Yeah, it was our first camp in our church. We did English camp. It was crazy. We did it in a tent, had no idea how to organize it, had not enough toilets for those people. And it happens that we cooked by ourselves. So many interesting stories. Yes.
Yeah, for sure. There's always interesting stories with English camps, right? So was that like the first time you had really worked with young people or volunteered with them?
I actually had an experience because I came to Christ through Campus Crusade for Christ. So I was volunteer there. So I had an experience working with young people, but it was my first experience doing it in church, and it was totally different.
Yes. And then were you a young person when you came to know Christ? Or what's your
16.
story with your 16? You were 16. And your husband too? Was he a believer?
I met him when he was unbeliever, and he came to Christ through Campus Crusade too.
Oh, okay. So you both through Campus Crusade.
Yes.
Oh, that's amazing. And then just like, I love that you were a young family at your church, and then you start volunteering with the young people, with the missionaries, and then your heart grew to just continue to work with young people, right?
Yeah, but by doing camps, actually don't remember many years.
Yeah,
5,
I know,
6,
it's a long
7.
time ago. We're bringing up the deep history.
Yes, it's really deep one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was part of like our life on that moment.
Okay. And then you went to the Czech Republic and you experienced fusion. Tell me what was that like for you?
So when we start our youth ministry in a church, our pastor always had this like big dream about bigger ministry, some special ministry. He was praying about that. And on some moment, he talked with Terry English somehow. And he proposed us to come and to have this vision trip to see how it goes on fusion camp. So it was like fusion camp for leaders from all fusions in Czech on that moment. So we came, 6 or 7 of us. And I still remember this like really important moment for me. It was the drums workshop and then concert. And besides all this like cool atmosphere, feeling myself as a part of something big, staying in a choir, understanding that even if I don't know well how to sing, I'm still part of this like huge something. But the moment when I saw this drum workshop leader teaching a young teenager, I think like 15 years old guy, and he was really not good at rhythm. So he had troubles with the drums. And this leader, he was staying beside him, and he was like tapping his shoulder, the wrist, so the kid can do the same with drumsticks. And I saw that, and it was a huge picture for me of discipleship. Because it's not about telling, it's not about explaining, it's just like living together and stepping in, even if things are going really wrong. But doing your best to make this teenager feel that he can do something. It was really powerful for me. So I think it was one of the main reasons why I wanted to take this idea to my church and to Ukraine.
Wow. Yeah. That's a beautiful picture. I've seen that as well in Fusion where, the leader is standing behind them, like clicking sticks or tapping their shoulder to keep them on rhythm. And that is a beautiful picture of discipleship in that one step, one click at a time, and that you have someone right there beside you. So, wow. Then you wanted to bring that back to Ukraine.
Yes. That was our first step.
Well, that is incredible. But then first before Fusion, you did the Exit Tour.
Yes, that actually was the beginning of my official journey as a missionary with Josiah Venture. So like it's mixed because we launched first Fusion in Ukraine before I start working with GV. And Christy Owen was the leader of this ministry. But then I joined GV working with Exit Tour and doing my Fusion in my church as a volunteer.
So what was it about like that you really wanted to become a full-time missionary?
I can't say I was dreaming to become a full-time missionary. It actually was naturally. I actually never dreamed and never think about that before I start like serving in a church. But it always was a volunteering stuff. So I was just like doing what I can, what I was learned, what I had some ideas about. And I always had heart to work with teenagers. But I never dreamed about like full-time job as a missionary. But then Ben Williams proposed for me this project, and he said it will be a project. So actually, I even didn't know that I'm signing for the long term. So it was a project for a year, but then through this year, I realized that it's deeper for me than just a project, and I really would like to do what those first missionaries did for Ukrainian church.
That's beautiful. And even when we have an open hand or like an open heart to serve the Lord, serve the church, then you never know what God's going to do, right? Unexpected things.
Yes.
Like
now
Fusion.
It's a long-term project. It's already 7 years. I think it's 8 years.
Yeah. A long time. Hello, friends. I'm quickly interrupting this episode to tell you about our online prayer room. Every major spiritual movement in history has been fueled by passionate and persistent prayer. Our team knows this and has experienced firsthand that prayer is essential to seeing God move mountains, change lives, and transform society. The Josiah Venture Prayer Room exists to deepen your connection with God and equip you to pray for His movement across Central and Eastern Europe. You can download our free mobile app for iPhone and Android today, or you can go to the website pray.josiahventure.com. The links to these resources are in the show notes. We hope your time of prayer will be the best part of your day. We expect you will leave the prayer room feeling more refreshed than when you went in because you have been in the presence of God. And now, back to the episode. Okay. And now you are the fusion country leader. So let's talk about that role specifically. What does that role even mean? And what are your favorite parts about being the Ukraine fusion country leader?
I'm still figuring out.
Sure.
But I think part of this is because the reality in which we serve right now is tough.
Yes.
So for now, it's mainly trying to help local leaders to lead their fusions and don't feel really exhausted. So as Fusion Ukraine team, we created a new way. So we provided for Fusion all music parts, choir parts, so they don't need to do it by themselves. So we took some technical stuff for us. And that's our way again to take care about local leaders. From other side, it's about like personal communication. It's about having meetings, asking how things are going. It's about some mentoring. And again, as soon as I'm leading my own fusion, it's about some role making, understanding how things are going with teenagers still. So I'm really trying not to be aware from them, not to be this like leader. They're just like walking and looking how things are going, but really have some connect with teenagers.
Yeah, to walk alongside them and pour into them. And yeah, that's important. How many fusion choirs does Ukraine have at the moment?
Right now, we have 4. So we just launched one half a year ago.
Amazing!
Yes. So we have 3 right now in Lviv and 1 in Kharkiv, which is crazy, but really brave, close to front lines. They're still working and they will be on Fusion Dairy.
Yes. We're going to talk about Fusion Dairy. But before we talk about Fusion Dairy, because I love Fusion Dairy, it's so much fun. But with Fusion, with these Fusion choirs and launching a new Fusion in the middle of a war, like that is a huge thing. Like, how have you seen Fusion specifically like impact the lives of young people in your church and your community and across the country?
I think it's a really powerful ministry for teenagers. Music always was powerful for teenagers, and especially when they are going through some hard stuff. And I would say that Fusion attracts really different categories of teenagers. Some of them, and I would say like big part of them, are those who can't find themselves in school or have some issues at family, so they can't run into music from all those stuff. But that's interesting because in each fusion we will have people who are not interested in music at all, but they had their community there. So they find their friends and they find a safe place for them to grow, to be themselves, and to learn something about God, maybe whose they didn't know yet.
That's a great description of a fusion. Do you have a specific story of life change of a student that you know that you could share about?
I actually was thinking about that before we start talking, and I have so many that I can't. I don't know. I don't want to tell this nice story about some teenagers that was unbeliever, became a believer, and became a leader. It's a great story, but I know that's usually what people are telling. And I was thinking about so many different. So we have those stories. We have Anya, who is right now working in Josiah Venture, actually.
Yes,
but she came to Fusion. She actually was that person who is not interested in music at all, and she never had any musical workshop. But she became a believer. She grew in a church. She became a full-time missionary through Fusion, which is crazy a little bit.
Yeah.
But we have another stories. We have stories of another girl who was in our Fusion, learned how to play instruments. Her name is Sophia. She was our band leader. She moved to Kyiv. She got married. She had some pause in ministry, trying to understand everything with her job and her marriage and like next steps. But now she messaged me a few months ago asking for look materials in English because she has some girls she's communicating with. And that's a cool story of fusion influence from many years. And we have people all around Ukraine who moved somewhere and they are right now in another church, but still have influence on teenagers. So, yeah, many nice stories.
Right. This would be like an hours long podcast for all the stories to tell.
Even our leader of One Fusion in Lviv right now, Kirill, he came to Christ through Fusion ministry, and now he's leading Fusion ministry in his church. So praise God.
Yes, praise God for that. Praise God. Oh, I'm just amazed and inspired by how God continues to use Fusion, as a relational ministry that uses music as a tool. And like we mentioned before briefly, Fusion Dairy is coming up soon. And this is the giant, big international fusion festival happening at the end of April. And so I would just love for you to share how Fusion Ukraine is preparing for this event and, your hopes for this event for young people.
Yes, we are working hard.
Yes.
We already have more than 110 people registered from Ukraine.
Wow.
So getting ready for 2 big buses.
Yes.
And for a big concert. And we are nervous.
Yes.
We will have our first Fusion Dairy band tomorrow.
Okay.
So we'll see how it goes. But for us, I like this type of events. I like Fusion Dairy because for each teenager, it's a unique moment when they go in somewhere to perform in front of people who understand what they're doing, how hard it is.
Yes.
From other side, they have an opportunity to do something unique, like some performance, some dance, some video. Like we have a girl who's preparing video that we will show during the song, and girls who prepare drama performance. And it's a song about what Ukrainians feel. So it's deeply personal. And it's connected with the war and situation we're living in. So, that's a way to perform, to share, and to have a unique community. Because you never will have this experience with teenagers if you are not traveling together, if you are not talking through the night, if you're not sleeping in a bags in a classroom and
on
eating something strange on a gas station.
Yeah. Yes, part of that experience is eating strange things at a gas station.
Yes, for sure.
Oh, that's funny. Well, the last Fusion Dairy was 3 years ago, and it was, more closer to the start of the war, and now we're 4 years in, which is wild. And one of the most impactful things I remember about the last Fusion Dairy is everyone from Ukraine had these Be Brave Like Ukraine t-shirts on. And that was just so amazing because I really do feel especially not only because of Fusion, we come together as a community, but I felt like everyone was just wrapping their arms around Ukraine and being we love you guys so much. And it hurts our hearts too to see you struggle and go through all the war. And there's this other moment where we prayed, everyone gathered around Fusion. That was powerful, right?
Yes, it was really powerful moment. I still have those photos in my room.
Yes, those are really impactful moments. And just to be able to stand with one another during the hard times, even in the midst of, it's fun, it's an exciting festival, but also to remember the reality of what these students and leaders are going through. So are you guys going to be wearing different shirts this year that express some kind of message? Ooh.
Yes, we'll see.
You'll have to wait and see.
Yes, it's actually on our mind because things are not easier for us right now, and even more teenagers will have personal influence from this war. So for us, it's again a battle between coming to a huge festival and perform and have joy, and understand that each of those teenagers have someone on the front lines or lost someone in the front line. So it's for them a moment to say about that too. So maybe t-shirt is a way too.
Oh, for sure. For sure. And just being willing to share their stories with other people who want to hear and to hear what they've been going through. So how has it been for you, like in this process of war and leading a ministry, and still it's that balance of, oh, I can have joy in this moment, but also there's this really hard thing happening.
Yes, it's ups and downs. And when I say ups and downs, I mean it's not about days, it's about hours. Like you can get up in the morning having from the sound of bombs, and then you go to your job because you already scheduled a meeting. Then, and on your meeting, you are planning, like, for example, a summer camp, but you actually didn't know who will be on your summer camp because you didn't know who of your leaders will go to front line and who will be still alive. And then you have a meeting with teenagers and you talk about how God loves him, trying to answer hard questions. So how, if God loves someone, how can he deal with the war? And then you coming home and doing your normal stuff. So it's up and downs. And then you get some news about someone died from the war. And so, but then you get up and you do your normal stuff. So up and downs many times, hard to explain in 2 minutes, but that's the reality we're living in.
Yes. And I'm sure you've had amazing conversations with young people about grief, loss. How do you deal with these kinds of things?
Yes.
Regulate your emotions. Yeah. Well, thank you for the work you're doing with that. And that's not an easy thing to step into those hard moments. But going back to Fusion Dairy, how can people be praying for Fusion Ukraine? So this episode will come out right before the festival happens. And so how can people be praying not only for Fusion Ukraine, but as the whole festival? What would you say?
I think pray, please, for this time not to be a cool event, but to have much deeper and bigger influence on hearts of teenagers. It's really easy to jump in and just do everything. But I really want each leader and each teenagers not to miss opportunity to feel what God is putting in their hearts. So I think it's a main ask for prayer.
Yes, for sure. For sure. We're going to be praying for that. And then for you, with the songs that you guys are going to be singing, do you have a favorite song that's in your lineup?
Yes, I do. It is in Ukrainian, so I think you will not know, but it will be our last song in our performance.
Okay. And do you have 20 minutes? It's a 20-minute performance?
Yes.
Or
Yes.
Okay. I always looked forward to Fusion Ukraine's performances because it's always so powerful and impactful. And so for everyone listening, get excited for Fusion Dairy. Pray for this event coming up, for the hundreds of young people, and more than 100 coming from Ukraine alone. Pray for border crossings and all of that, and safety as well. Well, Nadiya, this has been amazing just to hear more of your story and to hear your heart and your passion for young people. My last question for you is, what are your hopes and dreams for Fusion Ukraine in the future?
I actually, maybe sounds crazy, but I'm dreaming about at least one fusion, new fusion launching, not in Lviv, but in any other city. And actually, we have churches who are interested, but they are too close to front lines. For sure, my biggest dream is the war to be end, so we can do our ministry widely. and it's the biggest request so that we will have our independence and can serve in any city that we want. And I think our prayer request is about strength for all leaders who are involved in this ministry. It's really cool ministry, but really resourceable. Take a lot of time and efforts, and everyone, according to the 4 years, is really tired. So sometimes it feels like surviving. So just pray for our strength.
Yes, for strength, for the war to end, and that ministry can flourish, and for God to do incredible things in and through all the people there in Ukraine who know him and love him. So, well, thank you so much for being on the podcast. And like we said, please pray for Fusion Ukraine and for the upcoming Fusion Dairy Festival. And I'm just thankful to hear your story today. Thank you, Nadiya, for being on the podcast.
Thank you. I'm really happy to be here.
Yay! Okay, bye!
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Josiah Venture Stories. For more information about who we are and our vision and mission, visit us at josiahventure.com and follow us on social media. If you have any questions about this episode or would like to get in touch with our guest, please email social@josiahventure.com. To help more people hear about this podcast, please leave us an honest written review or share this episode on your social media. Thank you, friends, and have a blessed day.